Hey everyone, welcome to day 18 of Gratitude Yoga Challenge, Self-Effort and Grace. So if you have a block or a thick book, you can bring that to the mat and I'll meet you there. Okay, so it's time. Welcome everybody to day 18, self-effort and gratitude. So I just want to acknowledge all of us for showing up today, the self-effort that it takes. And I always feel grateful to myself after a practice, and I feel grateful to students that I practice with. So I just want to offer that gratitude to you for your self-effort, for showing up again and again. So let's bring our hands in front of our hearts, connect with our breath, and we'll take a deep inhale and chant one Om. Inhale. Softening the mind towards the heart, honoring yourself and your self-effort for showing up for yourself with deep gratitude, embracing yourself and appreciating yourself fully right now as you are. All right, so let's open up our eyes. And we're going to start off with a couple of cat and cow seated. So you're going to have your right shin crossed in front of your left and have your feet by the knees here. Take your hands, let's take the right hand back, left hand back, press the hands into the earth. As you do that, feel rooted on the sit bones and press your knees into the earth and lengthen up through the spine with a deep inhale, filling the lungs from the bottom of the lungs all the way to the top of the lungs. Exhaling out, let's blow out through the mouth. Ha. Deep inhale, push the hands into the earth, lengthen up through the spine. Press the knees into the earth. Exhale, ha. Getting present. And we're going to take another deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to breathe out through our mouth and do lion pose and stick the tongue out. Very good for digestion. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, ha. And let's do that again. Inhale through the nose, deep inhale. And you're going to make that ha sound with the tongue. I bet someone's taking a screenshot right now. So let's take our hands to our knees and inhale, open up the belly, and with some cat and cow. Exhale, pull the navel in, chin to the chest. And let's do a couple rounds of this. Using your hands on your knees to pull yourself forward. Exhale, rounding chin to the chest. Do a couple more. Inhale, come up. Take your hands behind your head. Not your neck, but your head. We're going to inhale, lengthen up, and exhale, twist over to the right gently. Inhale back, exhale over to the left gently. Come back, inhale, open up the elbows. Exhale forward, chin to chest. Stay here for a couple breaths, stretching the back of the neck. Maybe you feel yourself rounding forward a little bit more as the spine stretches. And let's rise up. Wonderful. So bring the arms up overhead. Take the right hand to the left wrist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, over to the right, gently pulling the wrist as you stretch over. And now bow forward with chin to the chest, creating a nice, beautiful stretch in the whole left side of the body. Breathe. And rise up. Release the hands. Inhale up. Take left hand to the right wrist. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale over. Try to keep this right hip rooted on the earth to create a nice, beautiful length in the right side. Bend forward, chin to the chest, getting the upper body and side body here. And come back and release the arms. Let's just shake out the arms a little bit. So we're going to come to, let's extend the legs out for Dandasana. Hands behind us. Inhale, lengthen up. Staff pose. Take your hands, root the thighs. Hug, lift the kneecaps as you hug the thigh muscles to bone. Flex heels, inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Bend the knees. Keep them about hip width apart. Inhale, lengthen up, and exhale over to the right side. So you can walk your hands back a little more. You can have fingertips facing towards you or out to the side if that's better for your wrists. Do what's best. Inhale up and to the other side. And you can use your Ujjayi breath. Deep inhale and exhale. And let's go back and forth a couple more times with some windshield wipers here. If it's too hard on your wrists, you can even come to your elbows if you like, or on your back. A couple more times. Starting to warm up in our hips. So, like I said earlier, we're going to focus on Ardha Chandrasana is going to be our main posture we're going to work towards today. It's a half moon posture. Ardha is half, Chandra is moon. So let's take our feet into Omega, bring our soles of our feet together, knees are out. So you have like this diamond shape here. Hands behind you, inhale, lengthen up. Inhale, lengthen. Practice the Ujjayi breath to connect to your stillness. And now let's walk our hands forward and bring your buttocks closer to your heels. Hands are out. Inhale, lengthening up. And let's bring the knees back. Going to take the right heel, top of the left thigh here. Walk the hands in as much as you can. Maybe you lift the buttocks towards your heel for a deeper opening. You do what's best for you. You might have the hands out here, foot might be out here, or maybe you can walk the buttocks closer. Slowly lengthening up through the spine for just a different version of Sukyandrasana. Top foot here is flexed. Inhale, lengthening. Exhaling, rooting the sit bones into the earth. Now let everything, you can take your front foot out a little more in front. Let everything fall over to the left side, getting a nice twist here. And you can gaze over the right shoulder. And let's come back. Extend the legs out. Let's come back to a staff pose. Knees are bent. Let's do the other side. So now it's my left heel on top of the knee. You might have the opposite if you're mirroring me. Inhale, lengthening up. Flex this top foot here. You're hugging this knee. You're hugging the muscle to bone in this left knee. It's a little hard to get to make that connection. So you can take your left hand to your left knee and push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. And then you can feel a little more connection and opening deeper in this left hip. So you can do that little resistance if you like to make a little more connection if you need. And if you want, maybe walk your hips a little closer. You could even take your hand around the leg if you like. Every side is different. Lengthening up through our spine. And let's come back to Dandasana, staff pose. Inhale, lengthen up. So I'm going to take the hands back. You can either, again, have them to the side or pointing towards you, whatever is best for your wrists. Shoulders up and back. Lift hips, open in the shoulders. Release head back if that's okay for your neck. Wonderful. Let's cross our legs, come on to all fours. Hands a little bit in front of the shoulders, knees a little back behind the hips to create a longer downward facing dog here. And if down dog is too much for your wrists, you can stay in all fours every time we come to it. And you can also come to a puppy pose anytime we come to down dog, if that works best for you. So let's take a deep inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, expand in the back body. Inhale, come to a neutral posture. The next breath, lift the hips, come up high on the toes, bend the knees. Press hands into the mat as you push the arms into the earth, pushing the hips back. Relaxing the head in between the arms. Now we're going to drop one heel, then the other. Pulling top of one thigh back and the other. Pedaling our feet like we often do. Opening up in the back of the thighs. Now take your feet as wide as your mat. Come up high on the toes again, bend the knees, hips to the sky. Try to make that dip in the lower back. And now I'm going to shift forward, knees to the earth. Keep the knees wide, toes together. Walk fingertips out, palms to the earth. Now push the palms into the earth away from you as you sit the hips back onto your heels, creating a nice traction in the spine, and release the forehead to the earth. And breathe here. Feel some nice traction and length in the spine. Connecting to the breath. As we stay here for a couple more breaths, just imagine draping over yourself a soft blanket woven of love and gratitude, accepting and appreciating the warmth of this blanket. Your body softens with the acceptance of this warmth and love. And the corners of your heart soften. And from this space, we'll continue to move into our practice. Walk the hands over to the right side, lengthening your spine over your right knee. And let's walk our hands over to the other side, lengthening over our left knee. The sit bones are heavy on the heels. And let's come back to center. Come on to all fours. We're going to push up to a downward facing dog. And let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Look down at your feet. Knees are hip width apart. Bend the knees, hands to the hips, shoulders up and back. Press feet into the earth, hands up to the sky. And let's meet in Anjali Mudra with hands folded in front of the heart. Bring the awareness to your feet as you press the feet into the earth, rooting, hugging muscle to bone. Remember, we've been talking about hugging to the midline. Imagine you have that block in between the legs. Hug isometrically towards the midline. The kneecaps lift as you strengthen the thigh muscles, gently pulling the buttocks down and in, balancing that, counterbalance with pulling the lower belly in and up, lifting in the heart. And let's bring the arms into how wonderful. Now root the feet into the earth and expand in the upper body as you draw the shoulder blades onto the back, gently gazing up as you lift your chin. For a gentle back bend here, inhale and exhale. We're going to fold forward. So you can bend the knees here if you like. Grab the elbows. If you can have the legs straight, then hug the muscles above the knees and straighten the legs. You're going to inhale and pull the right elbow over to the right side as you stretch over to the right. And let's come over to the other side. Nice big stretch. And let's come to the other side again. Feet stay rooted into the earth. We're not like a rag doll here. The bottom half of your body is very rooted. Release the hands. Take them to your shins. Inhale, lengthen through your spine here. Inhale, and then exhale, come to the earth, hands to the outside of your feet, and take the right foot back. You're going to drop the knee for forward lunge here. Take an inhale. Exhale, let's bring the left foot back, come down to your knees or to a plank here. You can come to a plank, hugging elbows to the side body as you lower down to the earth. Now let's take our hands outside of our mat, little shoulders up and back, spider fingers. Lift the upper torso here. Inhale, lengthening and lifting, lower down to the earth. Interlace hands behind the back. Clasp the hands, press them on the back of the sacrum, draw the elbows towards each other. Now let's keep the tops of the feet pressing into the earth. As we inhale, rise up. If you can, straighten the arms back. Beautiful. Release the hands to the earth. And we'll push up either to your knees or come onto a plank and downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Push hands into the earth away from you as you lengthen through the spine, tops of the thighs press back. Inhale, right foot forward in between the hands, drop the back knee. Lengthen over the spine, breathe. Let's practice our Ujjayi breath, connecting to our stillness, connecting to our vital energy that nourishes and strengthens us. Like Ujjayi is a self-effort with the effortless breathing. It's a beautiful marriage of self-effort and grace, the self-effort of Ujjayi and the grace of the breath that's always there. Bring the left foot forward. So sit back into our seat here. We're going to come into a chair pose, bend the knees, and let's pull the arms forward. Grab the thumbs. As we sit back into our chair, draw the arms back by the ears here. And I want you to take your chin forward as you can sit a little more into your chair, chin forward. And now keeping the thighs firm as you imagine that you're hugging your imaginary block, lift the chin and the heart. Beautiful, and rise up. Hands in front of the heart. Come back to the top of your mat. If you're not already there, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, let's bow forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine and take the right foot back and drop the back knee. I'm going to take your hands to the top of your thigh. Root the left heel and the right knee in to the earth, isometrically hugging towards each other to create the stability and strength. I'm wearing my Ganesh today in honor of stability and strength. He's an elephant. So let's take our right hand over to our left thigh. Inhale, lengthen up and twisting over towards the left. So this is stage one. Let's use our both hands on the thigh. Stage one. Stage two is to take your right elbow outside of the left thigh. Take your hands together in the Anjali Mudra. Now let's try to draw this left shoulder up and back. Really want to get your elbow right over the knee, top shoulder up and back, then gaze down at the earth, and then stage 4 is lifting the back knee. Let's release the back knee, hands to the earth. Just straighten the front leg the best you can, shifting the hips back, flexing the toes here, breathing. If you want to round forward, you can, it's an option. Come back to the front knee. Take the left knee away. 2 options. You can straighten one leg and then the other, or come back to a downward facing dog to stretch the legs back. Yogis, your choice. And we'll inhale and take the right foot forward, the left knee to the earth. We'll do the other side. So root the front heel, back knee into each other, into the earth, and hug towards the midline here, engaging our core strength, bringing out the elephant strength in yourself, hands to your thigh. Inhale, lengthen up and twist from the core here. So this is stage 1. This might be enough for you. Stage 2, really make a deep twist. Take the left elbow outside of the thigh, hands together in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. Lift the top shoulder up and back. Now press your left thigh and the elbow into each other to create more stability. So you can stay here, or stage 4, gaze one pointed and lift the back leg. Connecting to your breath and stability. Release. And let's take the right leg back. Let's come to a down dog. And we'll come to hips to heels, forehead to the earth for a breath. If you needed to keep a couple more breaths here, stay here. Or you can come to take your belly to the mat. And we're going to do a modified back bend here. So you're going to take our hands, press them underneath the shoulders, press into the earth, and lift our torso, lengthen our torso forward. Walk the hands out in front a little more. So the hands are a little wider than usual for our cobra. Walk the hands out in front. Tops of the feet press into the earth. Draw the tailbone down and in. Now imagine you're hugging an imaginary block, and then lift the upper body as you press the hands into the earth. So maybe you're able to straighten the arms, getting a nice upper back bend here. Or maybe the arms or the elbows come out to the side, that's okay. And let's lower down to the earth. So you're gonna push back to hands and knees or a downward facing dog. Breathe here. Inhale the right leg up. And I'm gonna bend the top knee for our boy dog. And again, you could be on all fours doing this or at a downward facing dog. Top knee comes towards the sky. Try to keep the shoulders as level as possible. Inhale, and let's bring this right knee forward. we're going to come into a pigeon posture. So if you want to have a blanket or a block under your right sit bone, you're welcome to do that. It helps to support. Let's walk the hands back. So you're going to take your left hand, I want to line my back thigh here. So I'm going to take my left hand and lift the inner back thigh towards the sky. So you'll feel that this leg is more aligned, the knee is pointing down, your foot should not be, back foot should not be falling to the side. Toes are curled under to keep this leg active. Walking the hands back, press knees into the earth. And we're going to take our hands over to the left side. Inhale, lengthening up with our spider fingers as we walk out. Now press the palms into the earth and press the earth away from you as you bow the head forward. Connecting to your breath, Ujjayi breath here. Now let's take our hands in front. Come to your elbows, forehead to your arms or a block. Rounding forward here to the earth for a couple of breaths. Deep Ujjayi, a beautiful marriage of self-effort and grace. So let's take this back leg or wrap it around. I'm going to pull it forward, take the left foot over the right knee for a seated twist here. Take the right hand behind you. Get your sit bones on the earth. I'm sorry, my left hand behind me. And take the right hand to your left knee. Pull belly in and twist. It's nice to create some room. I like to take my hand a little further back to create some length in the spine here for the twist so that you're not, forward folding. This way you can get length for your spinal twist. Deep inhale, long exhale. And let's bring the legs back and around. All fours. Again, you can stay on all fours here or come to your downward facing dog and move through it. Inhale the right leg up and bend the knee. Try to keep the shoulders level as possible. So whatever side you're doing, you should be doing the opposite of what you did before. I notice some people are mirroring me. So just do the leg you haven't done yet. And we're going to bring the knee in. And I actually have to do the other leg. So I'm going to do the opposite. I did the same leg twice. So for me, it's my left leg. So bringing the left knee in. Knees press into the earth isometrically. Just like when we're in a forward lunge. Take your hand to your back leg. Curl the toes under and just bring the whole inside of that thigh and rotating your right hip forward here. Wonderful. Walking the hands out to the right. Fingers, spider fingertips. Now press the palms into the earth and press the earth away. Press the earth away from you. And that helps you to engage in the hips and the lower belly here as you root into your hips, as you press hands away for a wonderful opening here. And breathe. Maybe your head is lifted or on the floor. Now we're going to take the hands forward. And now you can soften to the earth, or maybe your head is on a block, or maybe you're on your elbows here. Whatever is the best for you. Come forward. Breathe. Ujjayi. Accepting all parts of yourself. with so much gratitude for showing up. Okay. So let's take this back leg and wrap it around. And we'll do a seated twist. So I have my right foot in front of my left knee. My right hand comes back. Lengthen up from the belly, twisting, using the left hand to grab the right knee. So try to roll this arm back here, the shoulder up and back, lengthening, twisting. And release. Okay, so we're going to come onto all fours again. And this time, have your block ready for our final postures. So all fours, downward facing dog, or you can stay at all fours. Tops of the thighs back, hands press into the earth, lengthening through the spine. Take the right foot forward in between your hands and drop the back heel. The back heel is parallel with the back of your mat. So let's take our block and place it outside of our right foot here. So you can have it on the lower or the higher, or you can have a book. And if you don't have a block, you can also grab your shin or ankle. So let's rise up. So check your stance. For Trikonasana or triangle posture, our ankles are about the width of our hands. The front foot intersects the back foot, and the back foot is about parallel with the back of the mat. Some of us might have the back toes coming in a little bit at an angle, and that's okay too. Just different flexibility in our ankles. So having your block ready if you need it, if you have one, in front, outside of your right foot, hands to the hips, inhale, shoulders up and back. Become aware of the muscles above the knees, pull the kneecaps up as you hug muscle to bone, pulling that energy into your core, dropping tailbone down, and then feel the energy move from the core through the legs into the earth. So you feel rooted. Inhale, open up the arms and expand in the chest. Now palms go to the earth, facing the earth, and you're just stretch out. We've been stretching our side body. Now, as you stretch, don't lose the energy in the legs. A lot of us lose it. Keep the legs firmly rooted as you stretch out and grab your leg, or you place your hand on your block, or maybe on the floor. Whatever is the best option for you. Now press the feet into the earth and away from each other as if you're trying to pull your mat in two. So feel that strength that happens in the legs as you do that. Left shoulder up and back. Inhale, extend the top arm up. For a full Trikonasana, feet root into the earth, and now draw the energy to your core, and then from the heart, expand out. Gaze upwards if you like. So the top hand to the top hip. And you can take the block with you for your Ardha Chandrasana, or you can, this is where you can be in front of a wall, or you can use a chair. So I'm going to bring my back foot in, take the block with you, have your hand resting on the block. I don't like to use the block, I like the floor. And now gaze at the floor, one pointed, lift the back foot, and the foot is flexed. Once you have your stability, maybe extend the top arm up, and maybe you gaze forward. Once you have this, if you want to move to the next option, Chapasana, which you bend the top knee, and you're going to catch your foot, press the foot into the hand and open up. Now we'll come back slowly into our Trikonasana the best we can. Expanding from the heart on out, press the feet into the earth, and we'll rise up. Now we're going to do the opposite side. Take your block and place it on the other side of your, for me, it's my left foot. Some of you might be mirroring. Feet press into the earth, hug muscle the bone above the knees. Inhale, open up in the heart. Palms to the sky, keep that openness. Now rotate palms to the earth. From the hips, hinge over. We're gonna reach over to the left. Keep the legs rooted as you take your hand to your block, maybe to your shin here. Take the top hand to your hip to be able to realign. Top hand to the hip, roll that right shoulder, top shoulder up and back. So this back leg is very firm, and the front leg, I want you to lift, look at your front toes, lift the toes, and then press the mound of the big toe into the earth, and that will help to activate in the front leg even more and create more openness in the hip. Now we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana. Front hand forward, lift, bring the back foot in, bring your block with you, place your hand on the block or your book or your chair, gaze down at the floor, and this might be the stage you're at. Lift the back foot. Once you have that, the top arm, and then maybe you can gaze upwards. And if you want to come into Chapasana, bend the top knee, catch the foot, and then bring the heel to the buttocks, and then press the foot into the hand, opening up that right shoulder back, opening up the heart, and expand. So let's come to our Trikonasana, the best as we can, as graceful with self-effort. Press feet into the earth and rise up. Beautiful, everyone. Let's hang forward and bring hands to the earth. We'll come to a child pose and rest here. Deep inhale, breathing into the back body. Exhaling, softening and releasing, letting go. Letting everything melt into the mat, all of your self-effort. Allowing yourself to be fully supported with the breath, with the earth. With your positive thoughts. So next inhale, let's press hands into the earth, and we're going to come for our meditation. We've come seated, have nice open hips. So if you like, lift the buttocks, get onto your sit bones as you pull the buttocks back, and then your sit bones come back and apart. Helps to create a little dip in the lower back. Let's lengthen up through the spine. You can press your hands into the thighs if you like to root, and inhale, lengthen and rise. Close the eyes, hands on the thighs, connect to your stillness. Watching the breath flow in and out. Perfect union of self-effort and grace. And settle into the breath. Allow the thoughts to flow out with the exhale. As you inhale love and gratitude for yourself. We'll stay here, wrapping ourselves in a blanket of gratitude and love for another minute. And with the next inhale, let's bring ourselves back to the surface, opening up our hands, opening up our hearts, joining the hands in Anjali Mudra, the prayer pose in front of our hearts. And we'll chant one Om to close. Take a deep inhale. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you, everybody, for your strength, your self-effort. Wonderful to see you all in your practices. So I'm wearing this elephant Ganesh in our honor of the strength, the inner strength that we're building and creating. So see you tomorrow on the mat. And I wish you all a beautiful day or a beautiful evening. See you tomorrow.